Hi everybody, welcome to Let's Make Art. I'm so glad that you're here painting with us. Tonight we are doing our spring rabbit. Oh. Thank you. We ooh and ah at these, Keenan, thank you. Singing is for the pre-recorded, ooh and ah is for our live. Can you get it together? Thank you.
I'll just stay quiet.
So we have super fun painters with us here tonight. We have Heidi, who's here on the edge. We have Bridget sitting right next to me. And we have Crystal on my other side. And they were so brave to come paint with us, so thank you.
Thank you.
It's scary to paint live in front of people, so I really want to say good job. Yeah, and you're going to do great.
They didn't tell me until like a few minutes ago.
Heidi's like, wait, this is live?
Yeah, I didn't really tell her.
I thought we were watching.
She did. She thought she was in an audience watching.
I was watching that.
And I was like, no.
No, you're going to be painting.
No, we are painting.
You're going to have a great time either way. Okay, so we are going to do 2 brushes, like we always do. We use our 2 brushes, our round 6 and our round 2. A big and a small. You can name them if you want. This is Hank, this is Keith. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Okay, we have 4 colors that we are using tonight. We are using fuchsia and emerald green and lemon yellow and azure blue. Azure blue. So close. So essentially what you're looking for if you don't have our exact colors is you are looking for like a pink, a yellow, a green, and a blue. Just those 4 colors. So use whatever you have at home. We really want you to just paint with us. And we have 5 steps for this project. So, very first step, we are going to do our like multicolored wash for our field. The second step, we are going to do the sky. Our third step, we are going to put in our mountains. Our 4th step is where we put in our flowers and our texture. And our 5th step is details. Details, that's right. Just taking a second, looking at it and making sure that, you don't need to make any adjustments and that it's feeling good. We have an outline for this project. We're using this in the shape of a bunny silhouette. You can use whatever silhouette you want. And we're gonna go over tracing it and then we'll do our oath and then we'll do our warm-ups. Okay? Okay, great. So when you get your outline, you're gonna want to tape it to your watercolor paper. So, and if you have our kits or our subscriptions, there is a front and a back to the watercolor paper. They're very similar, so if you accidentally paint on the back, it's not a huge deal. I kind of do it a lot, so it's not really not a big deal, but try and paint on the side that's slightly more textured. So it's just a little bit, it's not as smooth as the back side. And then you're gonna tape it down, so then that way you don't lose your spot while you're tracing it. And then you're gonna take your graphite paper, and there's like a shiny side that the graphite rubs off on, and then the back of it. So you wanna put it graphite paper side down, like shiny side down. Just like that. Also, graphite paper is reusable. So this guy I've been using for years. You can tell because it's so much lighter, right? And it actually gets better with time because eventually that graphite starts to wear off, so your lines won't be as dark while you're using it because it just kind of wears over time. Barb said she named her round 6 after Oscar, her big cat. That's a great name for it.
It's a great name, good choice.
Good job, Barb. Okay. So you're gonna slip your graphite paper in between the 2 sheets, and then you can use a pen or the back of your paintbrush or a pencil to trace your outline. But I would just suggest for you to be as light as possible because watercolor is transparent, so you will see these lines through the watercolor. So what I like to do is I like to make a mark, and then I pull up my paper and I just see how light or dark that is, and then I just make adjustments from there. So if I'm doing it and it's super dark, like this is me pressing really hard, then I know oh, that's too dark. That's a little bit too dark. I just said that twice, but if that happens, just do a lighter pressure. And then I like to actually use, if you have them, felt tip pens because it's not as hard and it will automatically give you a softer line even if you're applying the same pressure as you would a normal pen. It's automatically going to be softer. Aisha said that graphite paper has been through some stuff. It served me well.
It's seen some things.
It has seen some many things. And then also if you use like a colored marker, you can tell where you've outlined. So it's kind of easy to kind of keep track. And again, outlines are just guidelines. So if you go off from it, if you forget a space, or if you go outside the lines, it's not a big deal, you guys. This is your painting. It's okay if it's yours. It doesn't have to be perfectly mine.
Out of control. I know, I got a bump on my.
Yeah, mine got hit in the face, I think. It's all right.
Oh, that was way too dark. Okay, I gotta do it harder. Look how,
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna use the back of my paintbrush then. I think it's just because my graphite paper is so old.
Borrow this.
I'll just use this.
One you-
This should be okay. If you don't have graphite paper, there's a couple things that you can do. Option 1, if it's still light near you, you can hold it up to a window and trace it through the window. Option number 2, you can make your own little light box by using a glass casserole dish, putting a flashlight from your cell phone underneath, and then tracing on top of that. Another thing that you can do is you can even make your own graphite paper by taking a piece of regular paper and covering the whole thing with graphite, like going back and forth. And then you use that as you would graphite paper, and that will transfer. So there's a couple things that you can do. If you ordered a kit or a box from us and it's not in there, then just shoot us a little email, hello@letsmakeart, and we'll send you a replacement graphite paper if it's missing. Not a big deal. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna put that aside. So,
Putting our bunny aside.
yeah, I'm gonna put the bunny aside and we're gonna do our warm-ups, but first we are going to do our oath.
Okay.
So, you gotta raise your right hand. And you gotta repeat after me. And I'm listening. Just kidding. And so if you could say, I promise to be kind to myself.
I promise to be kind to myself.
I promise not to compare my work.
I promise not to compare my work.
And I promise to have fun.
And I promise to have fun.
Thank you. And I like starting that way because sometimes we get really tense and we have to have a reminder that this is all about like you and having fun and making something, and it is not supposed to be perfect. It's not supposed to look exactly like mine because nobody can paint like you can paint. So just let yourself paint and have fun with it and play. That's the whole point of this.
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow. Happy accidents, all those great things. Okay, so we are going to start with some warm-ups. So go ahead and put your outline bunny to the side and get a scratch sheet of paper. You can use the back of some sheets. You can even use, well, don't use printer paper. If you want to, you can, but if you have extra watercolor paper, try and use that. And the first thing that we are going to practice is I want us to practice the different values in watercolor. So the value is the lightness and darkness of a color. It has nothing to do with the color itself. It's all about how dark that color is or how light that color is. Now in acrylic or oil painting, if you want a lighter color, you add white to it. But here we don't have to do that. What we do is we just add more water and the white of the paper shows through. And then that's how we get lighter values, which I think is so great because that's like so less work I have to do, right? Like it's like way easier to get that color. So we're gonna practice. I wanna practice getting a dark value, a medium, and a light. So I'm gonna stick my paintbrush in the water and then I'm gonna hit it off the side of the cup a few times. Because if I go straight from my water cup to my paper, that's way too much water. It will start to puddle and it might be a little bit more difficult. So hit it off the edge. And I just want you to pick up a color, any color. I'll grab some blue. And just fill your paintbrush with the color. So pick up a bunch of color. And then I want you to make a mark. You can do like a rectangle, you could do a heart, you could do a circle, whatever you want. Just so you can see how dark this color can get. The next thing we're going to do is, without adding any more paint, I want you to take your paintbrush and dip it a couple times in the water, hit it off the side, and then go straight again to your paper, doing a rectangle. And you can do it connected, or if you want to do, I'm going to do 3 separate so you guys can, no, that's fine, but just so you guys can see. So this color should be lighter because we added water to it. So this is a lighter value. And then do it again. Rinse a couple of times, lay that down. And just keep on going until your color is like barely there, almost gone. So just keep rinsing and painting. And if you are new to watercolor, you might be looking at this one that I made right here and think, like if you're used to acrylic or oil, we're used to thick paint, we're used to having it be saturated and like a lot, right? So if you look at that, you're like, that's not a paint color. But in watercolor, that 100% is a paint color, and we love this color. We love it. So embrace the soft colors in watercolor, because in our brains, it might not seem like they're gonna show up, but they absolutely show up, and they're important to have. So I think I'm probably about done. But as you can see, this is just one paint color that we use, but look at all these different variations we can get. And that's just by adding water. We did not put any other color in there.
I misunderstood what we were doing, so I went all the way across.
No, you did great. And actually, we should practice that too. So the next thing we're gonna do is the same thing, but we're gonna try and do it quickly so it's a smooth transition. So I want you to pick up your brush, get it wet, hit it off the side a couple of times, grab some color, do your rectangle, and then kind of quickly grab some water, and right where you left off, add that, rinse again, right where you left off, and keep on going until you can't anymore. Because this is what more of a smooth transition would look like. So this is a value change. And I actually use this technique a lot, where I like to put my color down first, and then I just use water to move it and spread it around. And then I'll get this like great transition without, like, that was like that took us like 5 seconds. And look how great that is. Like, that's why I love watercolor so much. Yes. Okay. So the next thing that I want us to play with is we're going to do this same thing, but we're going to do this with color transitions. So this was just value transitions. Now we want to play with color transitions. So going from like a yellow to a green, that kind of thing. So I want you to rinse your brush. And let's start with yellow. So I'm going to pick up some yellow, and I'm going to lay my yellow down. So I like to lay my yellow, and then I'm going to rinse my brush.
Okay.
Kind of blend out that yellow a little bit. So I have like a dark side and a lighter side.
I have one of those.
We all have one of those.
Not gonna lie, that threw me for a little bit. Not what I expected.
Okay, and then that made me so happy that you just said that. Okay. Okay, and then we are going to pick up, I'm going to pick up some green. And so right on this lighter side, I'm going to touch that green to that, and then I'm going to keep going. And then in this area where this yellow and green are touching, I kind of want to like blend this out. So I'm going to work this towards the yellow a little bit more. Now, if you want to keep an area pure, for example, if we want to keep this area yellow and that's it, I'm not going to keep my brush going all the way to the end. I'm going to stop, because wherever I overlap and mix my brush, that color is going to be like compromised. Which isn't bad if that's what we're going for, but if you want to keep it pure yellow, then don't keep on blending, just kind of stop. Like that. So then we have like a smoother transition from yellow to green. And then we can even keep going. So if I'm taking my green and I'm going to grab some darker green, so I have like a transition in value there. And then I'm going to pick up some blue. So right where this green left off, I'm putting some blue, and that's going to turn it to like this kind of like bluish dark green. And then this is where I would rinse and pick up blue right there, right where it left off. So now we have this color transition to like yellow to like a lime green to a regular green to like a turquoise and then to blue. Now if there's any hard lines, if you're looking where there's like a really hard transition between the two colors, for example, like see that hard line right there in the middle? You can take your brush and blend the lines between to blend that out so it's not such a harsh edge. So like don't be afraid to like just blend things out. And then that way it's just, it feels like a cleaner transition. And this is the same technique that we use for our flower fields. So in our multicolored fields here, you can see underneath that we go from green to yellow to like pink, or like there's purple thrown in there. The only thing that I want you guys to keep in mind is with some of these color transitions, if you mix colors together that are not next to each other on the color wheel, it will turn brown. So if I try to mix orange right next to this blue, it's gonna turn brown. If I mix purple, if I try and transition from like a purple to my yellow, if you mix those, they turn brown. So just kind of be aware where like the pink, if you think of like reds and pinks, next to them on the color wheel is we have purples and we have oranges. Next to orange, we have yellows and pinks. So just kind of think of what colors are next to each other in like a rainbow, and then those can smoothly, like safely transition together. Okay. And the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to practice doing a sky really quick. So make sure you have a paper towel handy. I'm going to grab an extra one because my steps are on this one and I don't want to lose my steps. So when we do our sky, this one you kind of want to work quickly. So I want to do it in the warm-up so then when we're painting it on our painting, we kind of know what's coming up. So if I want to paint my sky, I'm going to get my brush wet, grab some blue, and then I'm going to do like a rectangle, and I'm just going to do this quick. So I'm using water to spread it out so it spreads out quick, and then almost immediately you're going to use your paper towel to lift up color to make your clouds. Now the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be to lift up that color from the paper. So that's why if you want to practice this a couple of times to where you feel comfortable lifting stuff up quickly, that's okay. Go ahead and do that. And you can even do the whole thing if you want like a stormy feel where it's like there's layers of clouds going on. You can totally do that. So that's a really fun, easy way to make clouds. So we're going to do that for our sky, and then we're going to practice one more thing, and then we're going to get into our painting. So we're going to switch to our smaller brush. So if you have your round 2, get that. And we're just going to practice making like grass and flower shapes. So one thing I want to tell you guys about flowers. First of all, flowers and watercolor go hand in hand very well. So don't stress if you're like, I don't know how to paint a flower, because essentially we're really just putting like dots. That's all it is. So don't think of it as you have to paint a full out flower. Think of them more as like circular shapes, because that's really all they are. So if I'm practicing, like if I want to do some flower shapes, I'm going to grab some fuchsia here. So like in the beginning, they're going to be larger. So if we're looking at something like perspective, the stuff in the foreground on the front is going to be bigger because that's what's closest to us. And then as it recedes over space, these bigger flowers become smaller. And that's how we communicate that things are farther away from us, is we change the size of them, right? Because things that are farther away are smaller and things that are close to us are bigger. So if I'm going to do a flower field, my flowers like, and I'm not kidding, these are my flower shapes. They're like little like roundish dots. So I'm not sitting there trying to like do each one. You can, but most of the time when we see flowers from farther away, they take on a whole shape in themselves, and we actually don't really see those individual petals. They kind of all like blend together into one form. So if I'm doing like my flowers, and then as I'm going like up, as in farther into space, they're gonna get smaller. And there are a ton of different kinds of flowers out there. So if you don't want to do this circular shape, like you can do a different shape. If I want to do more like lavender, or like, I think it's lupin. Is lupin like lavender, is that right? So those ones are just kind of like dots together that narrow up at the top, right? They kind of have that almost...
The spiky ones.
Yeah, almost like that kind of feel. And then if you just want to communicate that they're farther away, you just make them smaller and the ones in the front bigger, like so. Julia said she found it really difficult and it just kind of looks like pink and purple blobs. That is true, but that's exactly what mine look like too. So if you're feeling that about your painting, that's exactly what happened with mine. If you look at the close-up of this reference, these are literally just pink blobs. That's it. So you're doing it right. You're doing okay. And then the next thing we're gonna practice is the grass. So this is where like doing thin lines comes in handy, because like the blades of grass or like long weeds and stuff like that, you wanna make them nice and thin. So I like to pick up paint, and then sometimes what I'll do is I'll swish my brush back and forth on the palette to like pinch the point, and then light pressure, and then my brush is vertical hold. So straight up and down, so I'm right on the point, and then I can make my grass shapes. And it's the same ideas with the grass as it is with the flowers. So the grass or these weeds or whatever they are that are popping up in the front or in the foreground, they're gonna be bigger and longer. And then as we move up our painting back into space, they're gonna get smaller. So they get smaller, and then even more so, and then like even to where they almost turn into like a line in the back. And if you guys are part of our watercolor group, which is Let's Make Art Watercolor, it's a really wonderful way to share your artwork, but people have also been sharing like fields, like flower fields to go along, and it's so great because it really illustrates that you see the flowers more clear in the foreground, and then when they turn, when they get back, it's just areas of color, and you lose the detail, but you just get those spaces of color. So.
Because California's in that super bloom right
Yeah.
now. It's real pretty.
Yeah, people have been sharing pictures of like their poppies and stuff in California, and there's like purple and orange and like crazy flower fields right now. Super bloom is what it's called.
Super bloom?
Yeah,
Super bloom.
super bloom. Because it's like we were in a drought and now we're not, or I don't know.
Hydrated.
I'm going to stop talking. I don't know exactly why super bloom is
We
happening.
usually have perfect facts.
That's all right.
I started talking, explaining why, and then I'm like, I don't know why.
I think you're right, though. It's because they had drought for so many years.
Yeah.
And now they finally have lots of rain.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that.
Okay.
If you, for real,
If you say it confidently,
You were spot on.
That's right.
listen.
That's what it is.
It's because of
Believe
this.
Okay, I think we're ready to go. You guys have been so patient, and now we're ready to get going. So you can take your outline and your graphite paper off. We have our outline here. We have, and if you want to keep your scrap paper close to you, so you can practice colors before you put them on your paper, feel free to, or marks or all of that stuff. It's handy to have if you're not sure what colors to use or what it will look like, because we will be mixing. All right, so very first step, step one, we are going to put in our floral field, which is just going to be our multicolored field. So think back to when we did our warm-up of color transitions and kind of blending and playing with those. Now, we're gonna start, but the thing I want you guys to keep in mind is this field does end, right? So kind of where that nose is going across, that's where I'm putting in my horizon line. So like sometimes I just like look at it and like, okay, or if you have a pencil, you can put that in. Bridget's putting in like a soft, really light water line. That's a great idea. So again, this is your painting. So if you want it to go all the way to the top of the bunny, you do you know, you do what works. Okay.
Cheaters.
It's not cheating. It's not cheating. Okay. Let's get started. So I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to work my way up. I'm going to get it wet, hit it off my cup, pick up some green, and I'm just going to start laying it in. So I'm going to start on the bottom. Now you want to try and keep this a lighter value. So think of light. So think back to our warm-ups. You want to stay in here or more maybe medium. You want to stay away from these because we're going to try and do details on top of it. And if this is too dark, then our details will not show up. So try and keep it more medium to light values and just use water for that. So I like to put my color down and then I just get my brush wet and then I just start spreading. Now, you want to keep doing, you want to do horizontal brush strokes since we're doing a landscape, and that's how we view land, horizontally. And so I kind of just do these kind of strokes here. And sometimes like little thin white lines appear in between, and sometimes I just let those be and I just have like white spaces because maybe those are areas of white flowers, or maybe that's where the sun is reflecting really brightly. Like it's okay to have those in there. So I have green. Now I'm going to start putting in some yellow. So kind of right next to that green. And if you go outside your outline, it's not a big deal, you guys. I do it all the time. Don't let that stop you or make you think that you're doing something wrong. Now I like my yellows to also have warm. So this is kind of more of a cooler yellow because it kind of goes more towards the green side. And if you want to warm it up a bit so it feels more like a golden yellow, is I'll grab some yellow, I'll bring it to the middle, and I'm going to grab a little bit of fuchsia, and it's going to give me this nice like golden color, almost orange.
Yeah.
And then you can put that in there. And then the orange or this golden yellow is a great way to segue into those like pink areas. So I'm going to grab a little bit of pink and I'm going to start putting that in. Now on my example, I have a purple area that popped out right here that I forgot to put in. But I can't put it in now, or if I try to, it's going to be brown because I have yellow or green there. Things like that, don't let that bother you. Now that I'm aware of it, I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll just move my purple area to this corner or maybe over here. So like, just adjust. If you make it, like for me, you can sit there and say like, oh man, I made a mistake, now I ruined it. No, you didn't. Just make a slight adjustment and you'll be fine. Don't let little things like that hold you up because they really don't matter that much. Ooh, I'm getting like a really pretty peach color when I add a lot of water to my pink.
My field is on fire.
Sometimes fields are on fire, so you're doing it right.
That's true to something you might see in nature.
It exists somewhere. Also, as you guys go up, so the like pink colored areas or even the colored areas are going to be like thicker, and then as we make our way up, because we're communicating distance, those colored distance are going to become thin. So like this pink here, it's staying kind of thick, that kind of thing. And then when I do my pink area like up here at the top, it's just going to be like thin wisps. And yeah, like kind of wispy. And really look, if you have access to looking at, I mean, you have the internet. So Google like flower fields or long distance and you can really see, and it's because we're only seeing the top of it that we're getting it thin. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, and that's how we effectively communicate that there is space. So I'm going to start putting in some purple over here. And the great thing is purple blends into pink, which is a great segue into the yellow, which is a great segue into the green.
I've always wanted to ride a Segway.
Yeah? Did we, is that what we rode when we went to, or was that,
No, that was
those were just the scooters.
We rode lime scooters.
Have you guys seen those in towns where there's like, you can rent the scooter to drive around, to like ride around town? They're so great.
They're a lot of fun.
They're
They're like $1 to get on, and then it's like per time like a penny or 5 cents.
Yeah.
Or something. It's really cheap.
Yeah.
But it makes a quick.
So, like-
small, especially if you're not from the city.
Yeah. So when we like travel or something, instead of doing like Ubers, if it's just like 2 miles, you just
Yeah.
grab a scooter.
Yeah.
You just scoot around.
Or if
It's
it's
super
dark,
fun.
then we grab it.
So just keep on filling in your field. Really like have fun with these color changes and let them kind of like blend in and out of different colors. Now, if you have hard lines in these, that is okay, because if you see flower fields, sometimes there's only flowers in one area, and so that color will have a hard edge. So if it is feeling like sectiony, it doesn't have to blend smoothly together. Flower fields are sectiony because like only purple flowers are right here, and then it's surrounded by green grass. So don't let that stop you either, because that's also what we would see.
Have you seen the little purple flowers yet in Missouri that come out in the springtime that
Yes.
cover everything?
Yes. There's actually a baseball field here in town where like the center diamond only has yellow flowers, and then the outer field only has purple. So it's like perfectly sectioned. It's really beautiful. I'll have to share that picture when they bloom.
Yeah, they should start blooming soon.
Yeah.
We took lots of pictures of them. Was it last year?
It's been a couple years.
And it was all over the place.
It's so pretty.
Sarah,
Yeah.
Anna asks, how did you make purple?
Purple, you mix your fuchsia in with your blue. And then if you want more of a blue purple, add more blue. If you want more of a pink purple, add more pink. Oh, I forgot. It's Amelia's birthday. Amelia, she is 9. Thank you so much for painting. Sorry, I meant to do a shout out at the beginning.
Amelia, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Amelia. I don't know why that reminded me. But Amelia, I hope you're having a good time with your box and painting. And I just really appreciate you painting with us tonight.
My 15-year-old loves to watch.
Yeah?
Yeah, but he refuses to join me.
He doesn't want
That's
to
how
paint?
John is too.
Yeah, Crystal is my daughter-in-law, so she's married to my oldest son, and he
wants-
does the same thing.
He's cool with looking, but he has no.
Interest in doing it?
Yeah.
We'll get him one day.
Right? Every time I paint, I'm like, you want to come paint with me? Adventure out, it'd be great.
You could trick him and tell him they're coming to watch people.
It worked for Heidi.
It did work for Heidi.
Right.
Am I watching?
I was trying to convince him to come with us too, but he wasn't having it either.
You didn't just tell him he was coming to watch, and he'd been fine.
Okay, we have Virginia asked if this is available at a later time. Yes, it is, Virginia. After we record this, it lives on YouTube and our Facebook and our website. So all 3 places you can find it there. Forever. Forever, as
In
long as
case-
the internet is
In
alive.
case any guests are nervous, it's always on the internet.
That's right.
Man.
Good job, Keenan.
Thank you.
Now, if you want to, these are looking great. If you want to neutralize your green, if you feel like your green is too like bright, you can mix a little bit of that fuchsia in there, and that will tone down the green and give it like a desaturated brownish feel, which is grassy colored. So if you want to try that, go for it.
My foot's asleep.
Right, I keep moving mine around so it doesn't fall asleep. Struggle's real.
That's fine.
Or if you want more of a turquoisey green, grab a little bit of that blue and mix that in with your green, and you can get this really pretty turquoisey green. I'm just gonna do that. I didn't do that in the pre-recorded, but I'm just feeling edgy right now. I just want to try it.
You're so edgy.
Where's my mug? My Live on the Edge mug's right there.
On the desk.
I just really like that color. I'm so happy I did that.
That color is very pretty.
It's good.
Give it a little extra something.
Yeah. Okay, and then I'm gonna put a little bit more pink in here. Just feels like it needs some pink.
Oh no.
I went with the wrong one. I like it though.
I like it too.
I mean, it's going with the definite burnt desert look.
I was
I'm
gonna
not
say,
gonna
I
fight it.
like
Don't
It's a
fight it,
desert.
you embrace
Yes,
it.
Embrace the desert.
Mine's really Minecrafty looking. Oh, Guy would be so proud of me.
Okay,
He would.
so hopefully you're getting close to finishing up your field here. And that's all we have to put. That's step 1. You guys, good job. You did it. Now we're gonna move on to step 2. We are going to do our sky. So remember what we did with our warm-ups. You're gonna wanna lay your paint down, put that down quickly, use water to spread it out, and then almost immediately use your paper towel and lift up that color to make clouds. I did, oh, it's in my pocket. It's in my art apron pocket. Like, where is it? Okay, step 2, sky. So I'm rinsing my paintbrush. I'm gonna pick up some blue. And then I am going to start. Now, if you want to continue your sky all the way to your line, you can. I'm gonna like probably go mostly all the way, but we will have mountains that cover it up. So if it doesn't go all the way to the bottom, that's okay. We're gonna put mountains there anyway. So I'm gonna start with my blue at the top. This is where I'm putting my darker value. And then I'm just gonna use water to spread it out. And try and work quick. This is kind of a race. But sometimes working quickly is helpful because you don't, like, when you take your time a lot, you really like overanalyze and question everything and like, you know, kind of stress out. So like, you know, just go crazy for a second. Okay, and then take your paper towel and start putting in some clouds. I waited too long. That's okay, I was busy chatting. Okay, now another thing that you can do to help your clouds stand out a little bit more. So I use my paper towel. Can they see at the top? The top, Kim? So I use my paper towel. It didn't lighten up that much as I wanted it to, so I can actually take and kind of work my way around the cloud and put some color in around it, which will, if it darkens the area around it, then it will automatically look lighter. So that's just a little trick you can do to like make your cloud stand out a little bit more. So I just did that on my top one.
I keep wanting to put the paintbrush in my mouth.
To like lick it?
No, just hold it.
Okay.
Control yourself, Bridget.
Like switching hands.
Oh,
I just want to,
yeah.
like, chew on the
I have a horrible habit of chewing on things actually. Many of times I've borrowed somebody's pen and they turn around and I have it in my mouth and I'm like, sorry about that.
Yeah, at home I'll have like 2 or 3 paintbrushes while I'm
Yeah.
doing in my mouth, and then I'm like one in each hand. I'm like, okay, well I want this one.
Do you guys actually want to hear one of my most embarrassing stories?
Of course.
Yeah, I was gonna say, of course.
Okay.
I do.
Picture this. Picture this, junior high, which is a hard year anyway, right? I mean,
It was hard for me too.
Oh, Keenan, you were homeschooled.
Same.
Just kidding, just kidding. And at my junior high, we had to wear our ID cards around lanyards on our neck. And that was for safety. So if anybody who was not a student was on campus, you would know. So you got in trouble if you forgot to wear your ID card around your neck. So everybody had these lanyards with their ID card.
What's also so a bad guy can go up and go, hey, Sarah.
Yes.
Go
Well, I guess I didn't think about that.
That's why they don't do that.
And so anyways, I'm in an 8th grade class, and the boy who sits in front of me I have the biggest crush on, and I steal his ID card. And then we get in trouble for talking. So the teacher like yells at him, he turns around, and we like start working, right? And then a few minutes later, he turns around, I still have his ID card, and it is in my mouth. And I am chewing on it because I have a habit of chewing on things, and it's like seriously like shoved in my mouth, and he looks, and I just go like, and it's like the drool drips, my world ends, and he looks at me like I am the just craziest person in the world, and I dried it off, and I like try to give it back to him. He's like, that's okay. So he just bought a new one.
Oh my God.
Needless to say, we didn't work out, but that's okay.
I was expecting you to be like, and that's Michael, and we're married now. So just,
No, he didn't talk to me that much after that, but that's okay. You know what?
I can't imagine why. I don't, yeah.
It's his loss.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
That's right.
Sometimes I wonder where Luna gets her sense of humor, and now I know.
Now you know. Yeah, all right. Okay, let's move on. That's just took me back. All right. So we have our sky. We did step 2. Good job, you guys. Oh, I love your clouds. Beautiful. Your clouds look great too.
Hers a lot. Thank you. Cool.
Okay. Yes.
I'm good at
And I
clouds.
love your color change too, from dark to light.
Yours looks like a storm's coming in.
Yeah.
I like it.
You guys are great. Okay. We're moving on to step 3. We are going to do our mountain now. So we're going to mix this kind of purpley dark color. So I'm going to grab some blue, pull it to my center because that's where I like to mix everything. I'm going to pick some pink, put that in there. So now I have this really nice purple color. Now, if you want your color to be bright purple, then you can go ahead and use this right now. If you want to tone it down and give it kind of a gray or brown feel, which would be maybe a little bit more true to what we would see, grab a little bit of yellow, throw that in there. So now we kind of have like a desaturated blue purple color. Ooh, I love that color.
Right? That looks nice.
That looks great.
Good job.
Okay.
Okay.
So what I like to do is I make my mountain line, and then I just fill in my mountains. Now you can make your mountain line whatever shape you want. These are your mountains and it's your painting. I'm just gonna kind of start off at the neck here, and
My
then
sky is still wet.
make my mountain.
Try to bleed.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. If your sky is really wet, I'm sorry I didn't
No
say this
problem.
earlier. If your sky's still wet and you put this dark mark on your sky, it will bleed. If that happens, don't stress. Just pick it up with your paper towel, and then once it dries, then just paint over it. So I put in my mountain line, I put in my color, and then what I like to do is just, like we did in our warm-up, just swish it a couple of times, and then I just like to use water to spread out the color. So then it's just an easy way to get value change.
I like to use what I learned in the mountain tutorial that you did and throw little lines in there.
Yeah. That's a great idea. We have that, what is that? I think that one's called Snowy Mountains. So in that tutorial, we put in our mountains, and then we put in kind of shadings and values to act on like the mountain ridges. So you can do that. And then other things that I like to do is like, after I put in this color, because I really like color variation, I think it adds a lot to a painting, I'm gonna drop in a little bit of purple color and just kind of let that blend out and do its thing and, you know, move, and it just adds a little bit of like interest. Even if you want to do like, maybe have a brighter color where you grab more of the pink. Like really have fun with this, you guys. You can put ridges in, and then I really like I'm gonna do one more run over my mountain edge because I like a dark. So I'm just gonna like put some of that on there. Now what I want you guys to pay attention to, and I think I talked about this in the pre-recorded, is like we're working within a silhouette. So don't feel like that just because the back ends here that you have to see the top of your mountain. We have to, when we put things in silhouettes or things like that, we have to remember that like whatever's happening in the landscape is independent from what's happening in the silhouette. So like my mountain range goes all the way to the top of my back. I'm not really concerned about them being able to see the top of my mountains. And if you took this like bunny silhouette out of the way, then a mountain range would be exposed over on this side right here. But also this is your painting. So if you want this mountain to like trail off into nothing, you can do that too. That's completely an option. Well, let's check in.
Okay.
Okay. So let's start with Crystal. Okay, so here, so we have crystals here, and I love her colored field. I feel like these transition so nicely right here, and the watercolor textures that she got right here, these like accidental blooms and berms are so beautiful. And really embrace those in watercolor because that's what makes it like interesting and yours and unique. I think her transition in sky is really nice from this dark value to this light value. And then we have our mountains here. The only thing I would suggest is I want a little bit of value change or at least color change within the mountains because they're all reading as one color and one value. They're going to feel a little bit more flat. So even like if you're looking at the example here, how we have that strong value at the top or even those hints of purple, just to give it a little bit of dimension, that will help a lot with making it feel like it's more, has a form to it.
Okay.
But I think it's looking really great. Okay, Bridget's, let's see. First of all, I want you guys to pay attention to this cloud right here because I love it so much. It's so beautiful. I just like cut it out and put it on my paper. No, it looks really nice. I love your mountains and the color range. I mean, there's green in there, there's blue, and there's purple in there. So you can tell that you were like going for it and having fun, and it paid off because we have these great textures and these great colors in there. And then your field is so fun and colorful. Like it's gonna be really great adding these flowers on there.
It's a Minecraft field.
Yeah. So I think it's looking really nice. That's all. I'm like so in love with this mountain range that I love that what you did there. Great job, Heidi. You are doing so good. You got to be kind to yourself. Oh, this is great too. Okay, so we have great color field here. I love the transitions. I love this right here, these textures and those little pops of like peach almost that are going through that pink. It's beautiful. And I like how it softens up here too. Now, if you look at her mountain, she added these like green edges, which is so great because it's like grass poking up on those like ridges or something, right? Which is what we would see.
I couldn't remember which color you said.
Well, that worked out for you because it looks really great. So I love how that turned out. I think that looks nice. What I might say is maybe do another layer of value because what's happening is your field is blending into your mountains a little bit too much. We want to kind of differentiate those a little bit more so our viewer can tell, okay, those are mountains and those are fields. So you can like go over a darker edge or maybe even like clean this line up a little bit more so this horizon line is just slightly more clear. But besides that, I think that looks great and I like your clouds and your sky right there.
Is it yellow that you mixed in to make it kind of a darker?
Yeah, so if you want to desaturate your purple and give it more of like a gray or like black look, add a little bit of yellow to it.
Yes, that's okay.
Oh, darn it. I guess the flowers are going over that.
Yeah, that's great. Can I show this?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not what I was intending to do, but.
No, this is really great. So she did some water drops and textures on here, which is beautiful because these could also turn into heads of flowers also. Oh. So play with that. If you want to lighten up some areas, you can do that. If you want to flick water on there and get some different textures, we can incorporate this into our painting by having these be like little white parts of flowers, and you can just put yellow dots for the centers or things like that. So really play with that too. That's so great.
Thank you.
Happy accident.
Yeah, happy accident all the
I
way.
just like to flick the paintbrush. I like splatter.
Okay, we are moving right along, you guys. We're on step 4. We're almost done with this painting. You guys are doing so great. How's YouTube doing?
YouTube's doing just great.
Good?
Let me see any comments.
I didn't know if we had any questions on there. I've been keeping my eye on
They've
Facebook.
been talking to each other quite a bit.
Wonderful. You guys are great. Okay. So let's go on to do our grass and our flowers. So my only advice to you is kind of what we went over in our warm-up, which is the stuff in our foreground is going to be bigger. As it goes up and recedes, our grass lines, our flowers, they're going to get smaller. That's how we communicate that there is space there. The other thing I want you guys to keep in mind is be aware of, like, in this pink peach section, that's where I'm going to put my pink flowers. In my purple section, that's where I'm going to put my purple flowers. You can even, like, so kind of stay within the colors a little bit. If you have some stragglers, that's okay, because there are stragglers in nature, right? Sometimes there is just one purple flower in the middle of a green field. That happens. So if we get a couple stragglers, that's okay too. So I'm going to grab my green.
We're switching brushes.
I'm switching to my 2, thank you. I'm going to switch to my 2, my smaller brush, so I can do finer details. And I'm going to start by putting in some grass. The other thing I want you guys to be aware of, because I was seeing this a lot, is when we do our tufts of grass, I saw a lot where it was just like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I guess I didn't see this a lot, but like I noticed it on some of them. And so when you're doing your tufts of grass, make sure you mix up how many little tufts are poking out, because we don't want it to feel so repetitive, because then we lose that natural feel. And the other thing is they don't have to be coming out of, see how they're all coming out of this one tiny little point? They don't have to be that way. They can be just coming out of the same general area. So think of like, this is the thickness of this point. See how wide that is? And that's the thickness of this point.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. Some of them can be coming out of one point, but also like they can just be bunched together. They don't have to be coming out of one tiny little spot. Okay. So just start putting some in. So in my foreground, I'm gonna get longer. And they can overlap. They're gonna run into each other. That's okay. And I'm just gonna stick with my green because I have green on my brush, but you don't have to do it in this order. But like as I move up, my grass is just gonna get a little bit shorter. And then as I get kind of like up here, it's just gonna turn into these little like almost horizontal lines. So you can have a little bit of tuft, like a little bit of dit, 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 and then it like kind of like goes away. Like so. Okay, and then I'm going to switch to some pink areas. So I rinse my brush, I'm going to pick up some fuchsia. And I'm going to kind of just do these like blobs. So they're kind of circular blobs that are bigger in the front. And then as I go towards the back, they're going to get smaller. And it's okay if these aren't perfect circles. They don't need to be. Flowers are not perfectly round. They are usually round in shape, but they're not like a perfect circle. So it's okay if you get like an oval or something else.
Or a blob.
Or a blob. Blobs are welcome here.
That's good.
And then another thing that really helps me is after I put in these flowers, sometimes what I'll do is I'll just take my damp brush and just kind of mess them up a little bit. and let them blend into each other. Because when you have so many flowers bunched together far away from you, they do kind of blend into each other, and like you can't really tell where one ends and one begins. So if you want to kind of like blend some stuff out, I feel like it really kind of fills this space, similar to like when we did our peacock, like the feathers.
Okay.
When you blend it out, it gives it a little bit more depth than if you were to lean it clean, really super precise lines. And of course, you can always do more. So like I put in some flowers, I blended them out, and I'm like, those look good, but it still kind of looks empty. Well, that's okay. You can go back in and just put more in. So if you got to do a few runs to make it feel nice and full and where you want to be, that's fine. Now these ones that are up front like this in this front right corner, I'm going to put a little bit of stems on those, because the ones that we would see right on our foreground, we would kind of see the little green stems poking up. And you can put a little on the ones going back, but don't go too crazy, because as things move back, we would only see the top of it, not the under part. I'm going to get some more yellow and put in some like golden grass too. Because you know how you have those long, I mean in California you have those long like weeds.
Like what?
Nicole knows what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
It's really green here in Missouri all the way through the summer, but in California in the summer it turns pretty brown.
It's a nice shade of brown.
It is. It's pretty brown, but it's it's brown.
That's my favorite part about Missouri, is it's so green and
I couldn't believe
lush
it.
and
Yeah.
pretty.
Even right now it is.
I know. And it gets even more than that, Nicole.
That's what
It
Brock
gets
said. He's like, wait
nuts.
till the spring.
So are you living here now? Or
No,
just visiting?
Yeah, so Nicole flies in. Nicole's here. Nicole and Keenan, I didn't even introduce you guys.
No, it's fine. We're just like stepchildren in the back. It's not a big deal.
All right, well, you all know Keenan.
Sorry, just Keenan's alone. Nicole just informed me.
And Nicole's here too. She's our lettering gal, and we love her. Okay, so I'm going to put in some like gold grass, like, you know, pretty weeds. They're weeds, but they're pretty.
Dandelions are pretty.
Yeah. So put some of those in kind of like the yellow sections. Or if you wanted to put yellow flowers in, you can.
Trying to put more purple.
And now I'm going to start doing some little like lavender pieces. I kind of
Copycat.
I couldn't do it in the front here because I missed my opportunity to put purple in there. That's okay. I'm just going to do it in this back. I'm just going to make sure they stay small because they're farther away. And then your lavender or whatever, these purple flowers can bleed into the pink. Just remember to still keep them kind of small.
But your mountains are purple. Purple Mountains Majesty.
And then I'm just going to kind of blend these colors out. And I have some like orangey peach area. That's a great opportunity to put some like orange flowers in. So I'm just going to mix a little bit of my fuchsia with my yellow. Hey Keenan,
Yes, ma'am.
can we do the side cam and I'll turn my paper and so they can see a close-up of some of these flowers? Tell me if I need to like move it in a different way.
Don't move, you're good.
Okay.
I mean, continue to move so that you can paint.
So I just have these kind of like tiny little purple things sticking up here. And they can overlap a little bit into the green. And if you want to give them tiny, tiny, like the tops of stems, so we would only see where that like green part is connecting, you can do that. Put some of those in there. Now you can see over here, can you see on this side?
Yep.
I put in my stems while it was wet so they turned into little dots, but that's okay.
It kind of looks like the bottom of the flower though. Like
Yeah.
It's an angle.
I'm not mad about it. I am going to blend it out a little bit though, so it's not just a dot, so it feels a little bit more like it's part of it. That feels better.
I had a small grass explosion. Yeah, it was starting out small. The desert is kind of trying to come back. I need to get
Actually, somebody did do like a desert version of this. It looked really cool.
I need to stop fighting it and just go with the desert.
Yeah, if that's what it's, just go for it.
Just do it.
They had like a cactus and the flowers from the cactus and like, I think they've been like, I want to say a snake, but maybe I made that up.
Did anybody put a horse in there?
I was waiting for someone after seeing that. I expected someone to try it.
I don't think I've seen a
I
horse
don't
yet.
think I have either.
Maybe it's because I gave you such a hard time.
Right?
I got shamed for suggesting it.
You're like, just throw a horse in there.
I feel like somebody talked about it though. I feel like there was a discussion about it.
We talked about it when we
Okay,
painted
maybe
it
that's
together.
what it was.
It was like I bet
The
you
truth
somebody
comes out it was us.
Turns out it was me. That was so yesterday.
Oh, someone tried it on YouTube.
Oh, they did? I want to see it. How'd it go?
Oh, it did not work.
Oh, it did not work.
She tried.
I'm so proud of you for trying. I know when Keenan was like, you could just throw a horse in there. I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, well, you really have to pay attention to perspective. It's not that easy.
Right.
But she broke it down.
And I broke it down
so
like,
far.
if you did a big one here, it wouldn't make sense. So it would have to be like tiny and like crusty. It's a little complicated. And then just in like these pink areas, I'm just gonna do like little darker sections, little here, but similar to the grass where it's almost gonna like thin out into a line.
Sarah, someone
Yeah.
asked, how are your edges so clean?
My edges are actually not that clean. You just are not seeing it close up. But so like if you look close up, like right here, I've clearly gone outside the outline. Over here I have, on this side I have. It's just because you can't see mine up close. But a thing that you can do if you are really interested in getting that super clean edge is you can get some masking fluid, and you can just use masking fluid around the edge of your entire bunny and then let that dry and then fill it in and then rub that masking fluid off. You will get a very nice clean edge. So that's an option if you're really struggling with that.
Deborah wanted to know, she asked, how do I make the lilac flower?
Oh, I can do that bigger. If I'm, what does a lilac look like again? Is that
It looks like
Like the
other ones,
lavender?
only it hangs upside down. You need to go to, was it Gower that we went to?
is this?
Comanche Acres, the iris farm. As soon as the irises bloom here in Hamilton, you need to go over to Gower, to Comanche Farms, and it'll be fields of irises.
Oh.
And it's pretty.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
So if I just can't picture the flower right now. Maybe I should just look it up.
I'll Google it.
Okay, Nicole's gonna Google one for me because I can only think of like these ones that are kind of like
This is
cone shaped a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. So they're just a little bit puffier.
They're just like, but they go down.
Okay. So,
Hang from a tree.
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
From a bush.
Okay, now I can picture them.
There you
Okay.
go. So here's your little lilac tree.
Yeah, so they kind of keep, so if they do hang from a bush, so they're kind of, if this is my bush and they're kind of coming off from here, then what I would do is I would do like a light purple, like kind of cone shaped, like so. Almost like grapes, I guess. And then you would
Right,
grab,
that's what I thought it looked like from over here.
yeah.
Are these grapes?
And then you're gonna grab, oh yeah, that's what Maria says. Lilac is like a bunch of grapes, yep. And then I'm gonna grab some dark purple and I'm gonna just start introducing like some dark spaces in there too. Because it's a bunch of mini flowers like pushed together, so you wanna have those light areas and those dark values. So light values and dark values to kind of communicate that there's like a bunch of little flowers going on. And maybe I'll use like a close-up lilac in one of the projects. But that's how I would kind of tackle lilacs from far away.
Oh, that's pretty.
So I would do a light purple first and then put in some dark purples for that value change.
And then throw a horse in there.
And then just throw a horse in there, you'll be fine. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more peach flowers and then I think mine is getting close to done. Okay, so I'm putting in some flowers. I just am gonna blend it out. This is looking real good. I'm loving it.
Mine's a fantasy world because clearly deserts and flowers don't come together.
It's looking really good.
Spring flowers in Missouri and desert.
But that, you know what, really though, like that is the greatest thing about painting is you can make your world
Yeah.
whatever world you want. And like no one can tell you it's wrong because you're like, listen, this is my world that I'm painting.
Not crazy world.
Yeah, this is mine. Okay,
I think mine's done.
I'm gonna call mine done.
I am going to outline mine with this pretty purple coat.
Oh, okay.
Tombow.
Yes. I'm gonna leave mine not outlined, but you guys can totally make that choice. And then you'll be able to see what they look like one's outlined, not outlined. So great, make sure you do what's right for you.
I just thought the purple went with the...
It totally
rabbit,
does, totally
I'm not
does.
outlining the whole thing because his ears are blue, so he doesn't get that.
If we had a blue one, maybe.
No.
Blue marker, no.
I think I like his ears not outlined.
Great,
Like yours don't have to be.
I love it.
You just don't outline it.
I love that. All right. Keenan, are we ready to do our close-up? You guys ready? We're gonna hold it up so they can see what we've done.
I'm almost ready.
This is the brave part, but you guys can do it. Because let me tell you what, people are so nice. We think that people are gonna be mean. They're not.
I'm really happy.
Okay. Keenan will, Keenan will tell us which one he's gonna do first.
I will start.
Then we do like the wave.
Okay, we'll start with Crystal.
Fast.
Okay.
No.
Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yep.
We're switching now.
Okay.
Here's Crystal's. Here's Sarah's.
And then you gotta like, can they see my
Oh,
face?
yeah, they
Like a
can't
hand
see your
model.
face. They can see everyone's face. I'm going back and forth. There we go.
Oh, you're doing like the magic hands.
Jasmine is back
Okay, and turn yours a little bit more towards the camera, Heidi, so they can see that.
Your mouth looks
Beautiful.
like cotton candy.
I think your flowers are gorgeous.
I love them.
They're really nice.
That's real. What were you even worried about?
I know. Okay,
Acting like you were gonna be phased.
first of all, you guys are so great. Thank you so much for painting with us. And if you painted with us, we want to see it. Like, honestly, the best part is looking at everybody's and seeing how they painted the same thing because they all look so different. And that's why it's fun to paint, because it's not about making them all look the same. It's about seeing how we approach the same thing and putting our own spin on it and what we can learn from it. So if you painted with us, put it on Instagram. You can tag us in it, Let's Go Make Art, or hashtag Let's Make Art. You can share it on Facebook, or if you're nervous about posting it to where like close friends and family see it, we have a really wonderful Facebook group that is meant just for sharing artwork, and it's a great way for the community to come together and encourage us to try new things. So that's called Let's Make Art Watercolor. And so if you want to put your paintings up there and see what everybody else is working on, that's the place to go. So go ahead and request to join, and it's just a really supportive community that's lovely. So I appreciate you guys, because you are the reason why it's so great. You make it wonderful, you're positive, you cheer people on, and you're brave by sharing your work. So good job. Yay, let's clap, because we did so good. Keegan, thank you.
I didn't clap so loud.
And again, Amelia, happy birthday, happy 9th birthday. I hope you're having a great one. And another special little announcement is this Thursday, Nicole is doing her first live for her lettering box. So So her lettering box launched. It's doing so great. You guys are awesome. And we're going to do her first live, and that's at what time?
Same time.
Same time, 7:15 Central Standard Time. It will show up on our YouTube, show up on our Facebook. So you guys will see it there, and I hope you join in. It's going to be a lot of fun. Do I need to say anything else?
That's all we got. That's all she
right.
wrote.
That's all she wrote. Oh, Kimberly asked what's next week. Next week is the jar with tulips. Water jar with tulips is what we're doing next week.
Tulip jar.
Yeah, tulip jar is what it's called. Okay, that's it, you guys. Bye.